Revolutionary, a patriot of patriots, a man of action, and an individual whose death is still a mystery to many of us till now. Hello children, and welcome to online video lectures. Today we will be studying about an individual who is best remembered in history with the words that I started. Today we will learn about Netaji and the contributions of Netaji towards INA. In your textbooks, you will find that in the chapter where we deal with Quit India movement, we will also have to study a bit about Netaji and the activities of the INA. Though the ICSE reduced syllabus tells us to study only two things. Children, you can check the syllabus. There are two topics that you are required to study. One is the forward block and the second is the INA and its contributions. So, according to the reduced syllabus, you are required to follow only these two topics. Yet, as a teacher, I feel I will not be doing justice if I straight away go into forward block or into INA. Therefore, in today's session, I will start off with a short biography of Subhash Chanda Bose. Subhash Chanda Bose was born on the 23rd of January 1897 in a very well-to-do family. He belongs to a Bengali family and they came from Cuttack, which today is in Orissa. So, like I described, because he happened to belong to a very well-to-do, rich, well-off, affluent Bengali family, he got very good education in his early years. He also enrolled himself into Presidency College. Later he went to England, so the well-off connection, and he went to England where he also did his higher studies. After having completed the ICS examination in 1920, Bose, he got a job that also as a civil, he had cracked the civil service, so he got a very good job, but his conscience did not allow him to work under the British. As an individual, because of his principles, which hated the British administration in India, which did not approve him to bow down to the injustice of the British, he suddenly felt that he should not take up this job, because serving the British would mean serving his enemy. This principle made him realize that he should resign from the job, and this is when he joined the political activities under Gandhiji. When he was very young, right, at the age of 24, he joined politics at that point of time because it was being led by a man, that is Gandhiji, and we all know the movements of Gandhiji. He actively supported the first movement of Gandhiji, that is non-cooperation movement. I have already explained to you the causes of the non-cooperation movement, the programs of the non-cooperation movement, and the reason why it had to be stopped or suspended in the middle itself. If you remember, the Chauri Chaura incident was one major reason why the very big mass movement came to an end. However, as a young revolutionary, Subhash Chandra Bose did not agree with the idea of suspending the non-cooperation movement, and he came out of the Congress and had joined the Swarajya Party for its socialist ideology. Now, again when Mahatma Gandhi launched the second movement called the civil disobedience movement, because Gandhiji urged for the unity for all the people, for all the Indians to come together, Subhash Chandra Bose once again supported Gandhiji and his movements. But in the withdrawal of the civil disobedience movement took place in 1935, he was again not very happy and satisfied with the decision. Now comes a major turning point. Because of the differences in opinion between Gandhiji and Subhash Chandra Bose, it was quite evident that a rift had already started coming inside the Congress party. However, there are two sessions which are extremely important. One is the Haripura session and the second is the Tripuri session of 38 and 39. Now, why are these two sessions so important? In the Haripura session of 1938, Subhash Chandra Bose was unanimously elected as the President of the Congress. By now, he had become very popular. He was loved by all. His idea of mass industrialization, his idea of using other revolutionary methods to attack the British appealed to the young congressmen. That is the reason why he was made or elected as the President of the Congress in 1938. During his tenure, his term of office of 1 year, which he served extremely well, at that point of time, in the next session, that is in 1939, it was again decided that Subhash Chandra Bose should be re-elected. For all the good work that he had done, for the love, for his ideas, his ideologies, his principles, again it looked like in 1939 at the Tripuri session, Subhash Chandra Bose would be re-elected as the next Congress president. But Mahatma Gandhi did not agree to the revolutionary ideals of Subhash Chandra Bose. So, Mahatma Gandhi put up his candidate against Bose. The candidate that Mahatma Gandhi chose was Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. So the contest, started between Subhash Chandra Bose on one hand, Pattabhi Sitaramaiah on the other hand, who happened to be a candidate of Gandhiji. What was the result of the election? The result was Subhash Chandra Bose won with a clear majority. Like I have explained, people saw in him a true leader. In the beginning, I have also referred to him as a man of action. Somebody who implements, somebody who also practices what he preaches. But the defeat of Sitaramaiah was taken very personally by Gandhiji, who exclaimed, he even stated later on, that the defeat of Sitaramaiah was actually the defeat of Gandhiji. So he played a very sentimental card here, a very emotional card here to win the favor of the other congressmen, which Subhash Chandra Bose disliked. Dear children, you can also imagine for yourself, if somebody has voted for you, but the other opposition plays a very emotional card and then they start ruining the entire thing, how would you feel? Subhash Chandra Bose felt he has enough popularity, he has enough support, and therefore now he should no longer stick to the Congress party, which works under the whims and fancies of Gandhiji. Since He was a man of principle. Remember, he left a job. He left the civil service job, a very nice job, because he felt he was serving under the British. This man has no greed. Therefore, what he did was he decided to form a party of his own. So, the resignation from the Congress Party in 1939 led to the birth of a party called the Forward Bloc in 1939. Now, this is what you have to study. Objectives of the Forward Bloc. In your textbook, page 179, in your textbook, page 179, we have in bullet points the objectives of the Forward Bloc. Let me explain the objectives to you. First one is Subhash Chanda Bose, he said after independence, the Forward Bloc would establish a socialist society. The first one is freedom of India. This is the most important objective. The primary reason, the real reason for which this party was set up was for the freedom of India. We have seen the objectives of the Congress, we have seen the objectives of the non-cooperation movement, we have seen objectives of Khilafat movement. None of these parties, even Muslim League, none of these parties was set up to establish the freedom for India. But Forward Bloc has clearly mentioned in his objective, it is a party which seeks to achieve freedom of India from foreign rule with the support of progressive radical group workers, peasants and youths. The Forward Bloc is not a party of the businessmen. The Forward Bloc is not the party of only the educated or the people who belong to a rich family. The Forward Bloc is going to welcome all sections of Indians. Second, it has also thought after independence. This shows the far-sightedness of Subhash Chandra Bose, a real visionary who also had solid plans that we are not only going to get independence, but of course tomorrow after achieving our goal, what next? The next plan is, he says, the Forward Bloc will establish a socialist society. Subhash Chandra Bose was a lover of socialist ideology, an ideology which is rooted in communism, which has come from the West. He liked it. So he says India will be a socialist country. And in our preamble also, we have all done the preamble in our junior classes. We start with the lines, we the people of India. And then we say that India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So the word socialist itself explains that everybody is equal in India. Nobody will be discriminated on grounds of caste, color, creed, race, gender, etc. Next, Subhash Chandra Bose recommended agriculture and industries should be developed. So he's talking about mechanization of agriculture, large-scale industries, good employment, scientific and technical training, abolition of the zamindari system, which means the feudal system. Then right to work will be turned into a fundamental right of the citizens, basic amenities and benefits for the workers, a new monetary and credit system, meaning the banking system, a revived banking system, credit system will also be created after independence. So these are the objectives of the Forward Bloc. So in today's session, I will end here. In my next session, I will begin with the contributions of the INA. Thank you very much for watching.